Howdy, I'm Brock England. Welcome to another episode of Wheel Love. Today we have a 1976 Alfa Romeo Giulia Super Nuovo, owned by a gentleman named Dean Maricus. He loves this car, so much so that he lost it and then he got it back again. Listen to this story. I think you're going to enjoy it. Thanks very much for watching.
I'm an engineer by training, and my dad was an engineer. And I grew up, handing him wrenches and learning about how things are taken apart and put back together again so they work still. And really the engineering sophistication of these cars is at the core of what grabbed me about them. And then just as a passionate car person, the styling, the little details where you can tell somebody thought about how they were doing it before they did it, from the design level all the way up to the assembly level, just fascinates me to no end. Around 2008, I started feeling an itch to have a classic sedan. And coincidentally, that same year I went to Monterey Week and saw Alfa Giulia's Supers lined up in almost every venue, and it just struck a chord with me. It really resonated. I love the looks of them, I love the scale, I love the idea of having a practical European family sedan, basically. I found one listed on the Alfa bulletin board and contacted the guy. It turned out that he had recently moved from Europe, had brought this car with him from the Netherlands, where it was his wife's daily driver. She took their little girls to school in it. I pretty much bought it sight unseen. After talking with the guy and hearing about the history, it was shipped here to Austin and we enjoyed it for 5 years. During that time, I managed to come upon a wrecked '89 Spider with a 2-liter engine in it, a recently rebuilt transmission, and a limited slip differential. Rebuilt the engine to early 70s spec. It transformed it. It went from having a tired 89 horsepower engine to somewhere in the range of about 140 horsepower. Fantastic car. Loved driving it. Around the 5th year, my collector cars were in great shape. Nothing needed any work. And part of my passion for the hobby is working on and maintaining cars. And then out of the blue, the guy I bought the car from got in touch with me, this was 5 years later, and said, "We've missed that car since about 5 days after it left, and we want it back." We came to an agreement on the price. It allowed me to go buy something else, and he got the car he wanted back. 4 years, looking for something to do, some new excitement, and I kept thinking about how much I missed the Giulia Super. And purely on a lark, I dropped Steve an email saying, "If you ever decide to sell that car, I'd like to get first right of refusal on it, because I really kind of miss it." He wrote back and said, "As a matter of fact, last week my wife gave birth to a new little baby boy, and we've been thinking about selling the car." And then about 3 days after the car arrived here, I got another email from him with a picture of his daughter, Sophia, standing next to an open driver's door on this car. And he said, "This 10-year-old girl is going to be contacting you in 6 years about buying her car back." The motivations for me wanting this car back were a couple of things. One is I'd put a lot of work into it, but beyond just what I'd had invested in time, I missed how it felt, how it drove, the feeling it gave me when I took it out on a Saturday morning at 6 to get a cup of coffee. It's a special car that particularly resonates with me. When the time does come, Sophia's going to get first shot at it. And my guess is that somehow or another, she and her dad are going to figure out how to get it back. And I hope she'll become, a grown woman, still driving that car with wonderful memories of getting driven to school in the Netherlands and to the grocery store with her mom and seeing it come and go in her family until it finally became hers.
Don't hit a deer. All right, here we go. Let me take this turn. This is a wonderful car to drive. All right, here we go.